Your event is starting. This new YouTube live stream is horrible. Oh, I think we're up. There it is. It looks like we're live. All right, guys, what's going on? We are live. This is the new YouTube live streaming. It's kind of bad, but we're on a 30-second delay, and we'll go shortly here once everything is good to go. I'm going to tweet this out. If you guys want to follow along on Twitter, we have Dan Doby with us, youtube.com/Dan Doby. His movie, which we'll be showing a trailer for here very shortly, please subscribe, is available on Chill. And kind of a funny story. It was in theater. Did you guys only do like a one-night thing for that?
Yeah, it was just like a one-night, one showing only in 250 theaters around the country.
And one theater, I think it was the Lagoon in Minneapolis, had it to me. My buddy wanted to go. And there were still tickets available, but we didn't realize it. It was at that theater. We had drove to the other Lagoon because there's two of them. And we went to the completely wrong one. By the time we got there, it was like 8:30. We'll be showing that. If you guys want to follow along on Twitter, hashtag WM Live, WrestleMania Live. I could have put 29 in there, but I didn't. People are is the stream good? Let me know. I think we're up and good. If you guys want to do me a huge favor, hit that like button. We are live. Let's see if I can get Hurricane in here too. We're going to be talking about the matches. If you guys are going to call in, make sure when the number is on screen, you guys can go ahead and call in. I know we get tons of calls anyway. If the number's off screen, just don't call in or else I won't be picking up and you guys will just get frustrated when you call 50 times and wonder why I'm not answering. Hurricane, how's it going, man?
Good. Can you guys hear me now? I had my audio all messed up right away.
Yeah, no, you're sounding good. Is the stream good? Because I know a lot of people were kind of complaining about it.
Let me click on the link.
I tell you, what do you think about the new YouTube live stream? Because I know you use it.
Well, the one that we've been using for like the past year and a half?
No, the new one. Did you get that option?
No, I've been using the same thing for like the past year.
Yeah, they have this new live stream where you have to opt into it, and then like you have to like let the whole live stream go live before you can even start.
Oh yeah, Nada's fan was telling me about that, but I don't know. I like the way that I was doing it.
All right, here we go. I think we're all up and good. If anybody can give me a kind of a thumbs up here. With us, Mr. Hurricane and Dan Doby. The links for the channel, I have to put Hurricanes in there as well. Finally, people are saying, I'm actually online when you do a live stream. Tell me it's finally good. And it's 480 quality. We have 228 people watching, so we are good right now. Let's get going right away. I'm going to put everybody's link up on screen here. The Please Subscribe movie. Dan, do you want to tell us a little bit about it before we show the trailer of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Please Subscribe is just a YouTube documentary I made. It just pretty much highlights about 8 YouTubers and what their lives are like. Kind of some of the top guys right now. Mr. Guitar Man, Hannah Hart, Daily Grace, the Will of DC, even though he doesn't really do his thing anymore. Mitchell Davis, and Dan Brown, and Cena. And we just kind of go around and just kind of see what their life is like, just showing people what the real side of what their life is like when they're like not actually doing YouTube.
And like these are pretty big name, people to get involved. I know you had kickstarted that, right? To fund the movie.
Yeah, we did a Kickstarter. I asked for $9,500, and then we walked away with around like $11,000. But I mean, I put in a lot more of my own money to do it. I kind of definitely. At first, I thought it was going to be like, all right, I'm just going to go out and do this, and I had it all budgeted out, and then I just switched it last second. Well, not last second. The project kind of became bigger before me, and I just kind of wanted to spend a little bit more money on it with animation and. Just licensing music and a lot of other stuff. So yeah, that's it.
All right, if you guys want to get it, chill.com/please subscribe. I know you have the first 10 minutes up on the youtube.com/please subscribe. If you guys want to go look at it, here is the teaser trailer for it.
Usually I just say I'm a YouTuber. People, oh, you like watching YouTube videos? And I'm like, no, I'm like one of those guys that makes them.
The way that we're now watching our news and our entertainment, it's the most important change that's ever happened to media in my lifetime.
People ask me, like, when did things begin to change? And it all happened at once.
Get more views, get more people clicking your ads, you're gonna make more money. It's as simple as that.
I think it's kind of a loner thing, but that's why I like it.
I was about to sell my computer because I had no clue how I was gonna pay the next rent.
I think they still probably assume it's just like a fun hobby that I do, and I'm actually a mechanic or something.
It becomes more about the game of YouTubing than, you know, the art of making something really creative and cool.
All right, there we go. And I actually just watched it now, and I have to say, just to, you know, see these, you know, people, because I'm kind of like the same way. You know, I've been doing this for 3 years now as a partner, and you know, they're all kind of like, you know, I'm on my own, and a lot of the guys are, you know, like shy or, you know, kind of, I want to say loner in a way, but and it's the truth as a YouTuber. But let's go ahead and get started. The WrestleMania matches. We're going to start with Miz versus Wade Barrett. I know a lot of people have opinions on this because it is the pre-show. And I know, Dan, you're not very happy about it being on the pre-show.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit disrespectful of the Intercontinental Championship belt. I just think that they're not even like, I mean, it's just not. It's like a throwaway belt now. Now it almost feels like it's the European Championship of like the Attitude Era. Yeah, I mean, no one really cares for Wade Barrett. I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I don't think he's that big of a guy.
Really?
And you know, he's just kind of like a jobber in my opinion. And I mean, I would have liked to see the belt in WrestleMania, but you know, at the same time, I don't really care about Wade Barrett at all or The Miz.
Hey, it's gonna be at WrestleMania. Technically, the good thing now, at least when they do these pre-shows, at least you get to see it. The only problem is you're gonna be watching it on YouTube. Here we go. If you guys want to give us a call right now, 619-618-0268. Make sure to mute the live stream when you call in. And let's keep it to Wade Barrett and Miz right now. If you want to talk about Rock Cena, we'll do that later on in the show. 619. Oh my God, we already have 5 calls.
Is that the only match on the pre-show?
There are some people talking about there potentially being another match, which I don't know if it'd be like a battle royale. One of the things I heard was a lumberjack match to get people involved. But WWE expanded the pre-show this year to be an hour, actually.
Wow.
I just realized our live stream's like 45 seconds behind, so the calls won't start coming until for like 45 seconds. Yeah, so it's an hour. And they're also, for the first time ever, they're doing a post-show, kind of like UFC. I honestly, I think they're like looking at UFC and just being like, we're going to do what they do from now on.
And we got to have 6 shows on television.
They do, and on YouTube. Miz versus Wade Barrett. Personal predictions, guys?
Barrett wins.
Barrett
Yeah,
wins?
I'd say so too. And to be honest, I really don't even care. But yeah, no, I think Wade Barrett's going to win as well. Yeah.
Do you think it's just because you don't like Wade Barrett, or do you think you don't care because of the fact that it's on a pre-show and we shouldn't care about a match on a pre-show because it's not on the actual card?
No, I think it's everything. I think it has to do with I mean, I think it's everything. The fact that they're doing it on a pre-show, the fact that I mean, The Miz, I think, is a little stale. For a while, they didn't know what they were doing with him when he came back a couple months ago, and he was doing that whole like dark thing and had that weird coat. And now they kind of just like it didn't work for him, and now they're rebranding him as like the same guy he was before with the whole like I'm awesome thing. And Wade Barrett just is not good on the mic.
I see. I loved Wade Barrett, and I was a huge fan of him in Nexus. I did agree, though, when he got injured and he went away, and this whole like Barrett Barrage thing ended for a few months, and he came back, it hasn't had that same. It has been kind of boring. But I definitely think he's a main event talent. I think he's got that potential.
What if he had feuded with somebody of a higher stature, like Randy Orton? Because what does Randy Orton ever do? Nothing.
Well, Randy Orton is on that 2-strike thing, so I think for the rest of his career, he's just going to be kind of very mid-card level. You know.
I guess that's a risk if they put him in the spotlight.
Yeah, and if they really hype him up and like have like a whole thing, like you know, if they can't risk that with him, and so I think they're just going to keep him mid-card, and that's about it. But yeah, I would love to see that. That would actually be a really good match. Just Wade Barrett with Randy Orton. That's a good idea. I would have much rather seen that than The Miz.
Somebody said my phone number's not working. This could be a problem. Maybe that's why. Let me give this one a call here quick. I honestly, this is what I kind of made in my personal prediction video was I had said I think Miz takes over the title and lets Wade Barrett go up to the main event finally. Because I think, you know, what you said about the title becoming a junk title, it really has. When Wade Barrett, a guy, when they have the mid-card title, when they drop it, they should immediately ascend to the, you know, the main card. Like, they should become the next guy. And WWE doesn't do that anymore. It's a complete joke. Who wants to watch it? And Antonio Cesaro, even CM Punk had made a statement saying he should absolutely be on the card. Why he's not on the card? If I ran the company, I would do it completely different, but I don't. As Wade Barrett picks up a victory here.
Especially when you have Fandango getting his debut at WrestleMania with this gimmick.
I like Fandango. I love, and a lot of people are going to criticize me right there, Toby. You don't know how to pronounce it. If you guys really want to talk for a second, I'm going to check the number and see if it works or not.
Sure. You know what? I actually really like Fandango, and I think I think one of the reasons, and this is probably like a last-minute call, but yeah, he still has not wrestled a match yet, but he's getting such a pop. Even though it's a huge boo, it's still so much more than, say, Wade Barrett and The Miz would get. So they probably just said, you know what, let's throw Fandango in WrestleMania. Enough people know who he is right now. They probably hate him so much that let's just, a pop is a pop, regardless if it's a good one or a bad one, as far as like boos and like, cheers. But everyone is just booing the crap out of him. And a couple weeks ago, I think it was not this past Raw, but the Raw before, when Fandango attacks Jericho and then comes back, and then you see him in the alleyway, he does his whole spiel like, he didn't say my name right. My name is Fandango. And then he looks up and you just hear so many boos, and you just see him like, I had to rewind a few times because he just smiled there, and you could tell what was going on in his head and what was happening. He was pretty much like, dude, I'm put over. I'm fucking like, this worked. This gimmick, this angle worked of just coming out here and dancing around and just being a dick. It actually worked. So I think, they're going to push him, and I think he's going to do big things because you really need like a really good bad heel, separate from like what they're doing with CM Punk right now.
And I didn't really think that the Fandango thing was going to actually work out. And I wonder if this failed, if Antonio Cesaro wouldn't be in his spot then against Jericho.
The number is expired. That's why people can't get through. So I apologize about this, guys. If you want to chat with us, you can do it on Twitter, twitter.com/Dan Doby, twitter.com/Tubbyemu, and twitter.com/Mr. Hurricane. If you guys want to just keep rolling for a second. If you guys want to talk about Swagger Del Rio, just do it on Twitter, and I'll get the number working in a second here. God, I should have realized that.
This is another match that I really don't. I'm not a fan of these guys, really.
Why? What about these guys makes you not like them?
Jack Swagger, first off, is terrible on the mic. He's got a terrible lisp, and he just can't put anything. He's just dreadful on the mic. They gave him a mouthpiece now. Just this whole gimmick of him, like what is this? What is this saying? It's like we the people. That's all he does. It's just annoying. It's not something where Fandango, where it's like you love to hate it. You just hate him. He's got, and especially after his DUI recently, you would have thought that they would have done something to kind of like, not reward that behavior, but they continue to push him.
I think it's because people hate him.
Go ahead.
I think it's because people hate him, to be honest with you. I think, they're doing. I actually really like it. Dutch Mantel is a guy that, unfortunately, they started off really good and it was getting a lot of heat. But the go home show, John Cena got booed in boring chants. Dutch Mantel and Jack Swagger had boring chants. And if you're Vince McMahon, you've got to be freaking out a little bit. Obviously, I have to agree with you in a way that these guys really aren't doing it right now. They're getting booed in boring chants. I'm the fan. Like I like Dutch Mantel though, and I think Jack Swagger can't talk on the mic, and I'm glad they are giving him a manager because guys in WWE that can't talk can go over so much more with managers, and WWE is finally starting to realize that and bring him back. That's just
yeah, I do like Dutch Mantel as well, and I do like that he's there, and he's one of those guys where it's like you kind of love to hate him, and you kind of are just waiting for someone to beat him up. And I love when he was in the ring this past Monday, and he's just kind of getting ready for the match, and he's stretching, and you're just like, oh, please kill him, just please kill him right now. But yeah, no, I'm down with him. I like him.
And the one thing that they did do, and this is something that somebody said on Skype, was they were happy though that it switched roles, because in a normal WWE storyline, it would be like an American guy like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and it would be like a Mexican guy trying to come in and down with America. WWE kind of pulled something they've never done before and had a face, Mexican, and this country's for everybody, and you had a racist American. So at least they tried something new that they haven't done before, and I do applaud WWE for doing that at least. In my opinion, I think that was a good thing.
I agree. I absolutely agree. That's
Would it have been any better if Jack Swagger had a horrible gimmick for like 4 years? Because we already have a bad taste in our mouths because of what he previously was.
He was just kind of I kind of lost it with Jack Swagger. I think he's a good guy and he has potential. When he first came out to this new song, and before they added Dutch Mantel as Jack Swagger gets the victory here, I liked it. And then when they started talking and doing everything, I was like, I guess it's not a completely new Jack Swagger. Like, I would have preferred him not to. When he comes out and he's like marching, I hate that. I hate that. I hate everything about it. At least he's not dancing around the ring like he was with Michael Cole. Do either of you guys think there's going to be a cash in? I don't know if I heard that when I walked away.
I think there definitely could be. Has there been a cash in at WrestleMania before?
Jeez.
They bluffed it last year with Daniel Bryan and made him do it early.
They did. I don't personally know if it's been at WrestleMania because I know that the Money in the Bank used to be at WrestleMania. I don't remember if somebody ever won that night.
Can't you see there being a really good situation for it, though? Like, Del Rio goes over Swagger and Ziggler cashes in?
That's what a lot of people are talking about because if the Money in the Bank is a weird thing because the numbers work. I just bought it now, so the numbers should be working here very shortly, guys. I do apologize about that. With the Money in the Bank, you get rematch clauses in WWE and you're champion and you lose. So if you have, Jack Swagger win, Del Rio gets a rematch. If you have Ziggler cash in on Swagger, then Swagger gets a rematch, and then you have a triple threat at Extreme Rules. And I don't think anybody wants to see that.
See, I think the thing is, Dolph Ziggler has main event potential, and to put him on the biggest stage WWE has to offer, have him cash in at WrestleMania, that does so much more for him than doing it later down the line.
Absolutely.
Plus, you have all this build up now after WrestleMania. You can do things with Extreme Rules or Triple Threat, like you said.
I do agree. Dan, what do you think about a cash in?
No, I agree, and that's what I really want to happen, and I think that it's going to happen. However, if you think about, I'm like the step before that is, and I think that, how do I say this? The match that Ziggler's in right now, I really think that Team Hell No is in a breakup, and I think that that Ziggler and what's his name, Biggie Langston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna win, and I think this is gonna be the breakup of if they were smart, this would be the breakup of that, so they can push kind of Daniel Bryan in a different as a solo guy, because I think him and the Kane thing is completely over. I'd love to see them kind of just completely separate and Ziggler and Biggie Langston kind of become the tag champs. But if that happens, that's kind of like what I'm predicting, I don't know if he's gonna cash in the Money in the Bank, because for him to be like a double champion,
I think that would be pretty sweet.
That would
be pretty cool.
Like that would be, I just don't think they're gonna do it. I'd love to see Ziggler with 2 belts on his, like holding him up. I think that'd just be cool. Ziggler is one of my favorite wrestlers, across the board right now, and the fact that him and like Daniel Bryan are not headlining WrestleMania, I don't know if we're 2 years away from that or if that's a next year thing, but I think those are 2 of my guys right now on the mic, and just technically speaking, those are great guys.
They are. And one thing that I did want to bring up was, Daniel Bryan and Kane. I've loved everything they've done, and I liked it more like when the Doctor was involved. When Dr. Shelby was there, you had, was it not Velvet Sky? What's his name? Scorpio Sky in there as Henry. What was his name? Hector? I can't even remember. Now it's kind of gotten a little still, but I still like it. And CM Punk brought up an interesting thing on an interview with ESPN about if he was doing it, he's had his run with the title. He said if he could team up with Brock Lesnar and take on Daniel Bryan and Kane, that's what he would do. Mm-hmm. He would love to see that happen. And I have to be honest, I would too. I think that could lead to a lot of interesting things, because you could have Daniel Bryan and Kane go up against Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. And then like at SummerSlam, you could have CM Punk and Brock Lesnar break up and finally have their fight. Predictions for that match, though? Sorry about that. I missed that one.
The tag match?
The tag match.
Oh, there's so many ways. This is actually one where I'm not sure of, and that's what makes it more interesting to watch.
We're kind of skipping a few matches.
Well, I mean, I think it could go either 2 ways. Either they win the belts and they put it over Biggie Langston, or something happens where they don't win and maybe something. If Ziggler and Biggie Langston win, then that means Team Hell No breaks up. But if they lose, I think Biggie Langston and Ziggler are going to break apart, and then that's going to start possibly a feud with either Ziggler and Biggie Langston, or Biggie Langston and Ryback.
Would that be the start if Ziggler and Biggie were to break up, or maybe Big E like screws Dolph. Like, what if Big E was just using Dolph to main event WrestleMania, and then Ryback just beat Mark Henry, and he was using him, and everybody's always talked about Big E and AJ turning on Dolph. What if that's Dolph's turn to become a face now? And that's what I would want to see. If I was booking it, I would want to see Big E lose and then screw over Dolph on the grandest stage of them all, because that accomplishes two things. That gets Dolph finally face, and people were talking about that for the longest time with Dolph and Ric Flair, but they went with The Miz instead. And it gets Big E's name recognized and finally, out there as this big guy. He screwed over Dolph Ziggler. And if you have Ziggler then cash in after that happens,
oh yes,
That would be awesome.
you see what I'm saying? Like that alone, like, so you've already had that kind of like the start of a face turn. You have him cash in on Swagger, the heel, so he's that good guy again.
Yeah,
That's how I would book it.
Man, if they don't do that, I'm gonna be disappointed, because that's a really good premise.
All right, here we go. We got some calls. Let's add them. If you want to give us a call, 619-618-0268. What's it going, sir? Sorry about that. Before we start, you have a YouTube channel or anything you want to pimp out?
Nope.
All right. What match do you want to talk about?
Ryback and Mark Henry.
Ryback and Mark Henry. Let's go. What about the match are you most excited for?
Do you think you can do it?
I think so. I absolutely think you can put. I think Ryback
I don't think it's gonna happen.
So you don't think that Ryback's got the power to put Mark Henry up?
I don't think so.
Oh, Dan. Like, are you one of the guys that caller that doesn't realize that Tenzai? Because everybody is saying that the reason Ryback can't do it is because he can't even lift Paul Heyman and Tenzai.
I think they sandbagged him.
They absolutely sandbagged him.
I agree 100%. They sandbagged him, but Mark Henry's a big dude.
Well, if you think about it, Mark Henry weighs what, 425, 450, somewhere in there. He's lifted Kurt Hawkins, Tyler Rex, combined they're 450. So
I mean, do you think he has what it takes? You want us to think he has what it takes? It's basically make or break it for him.
All right, Hurricane, what do you think?
I think he can do
Ryback get him? Okay, you think he can get on? Dan, what do you
It's
think?
one person. I think he can do it.
Dan, what do you think?
I will put money that he can do it, and he's gonna do it.
Now, if he can't do it, is he going to win by a double clothesline? Is he going to pick him up, clothesline him, and do it again? Like,
No, they should say that if he can't do it, then Mark Henry wins.
Mm-hmm.
That would have
what
been
I'm
an
kinda
interesting
thinking of.
storyline.
If he can't do it, what's going to happen if he doesn't get him up?
He'll have to, hit some other kind of. I think that's a good point. I think, that should have been the build for these guys. Like, there's no way you can get him up there. But then WWE would have had to admit that, Tenzai and Paul Heyman sandbagged them, and the WWE wouldn't do that to their own product. What is your prediction, caller?
My prediction?
Yeah.
My prediction is Ryback's winning with a clothesline.
He's going to win with a clothesline. All right.
Yeah, I don't think you can get him.
That would be the weakest finisher ever.
I'm paying $60. I'm paying $60 for the pay-per-view to hopefully see Ryback get him up for Shell Shock.
Now, what happens if, say, he wins, he shell shocks him, and then Mark Henry kicks out? Can he do it again? Like, that's like just going through your mind, like, oh my God, can he do it again now? And like, just imagine if for the second one, his knees give out, and now he's got to win the match by a clothesline. Like, that would be, if Ryback fails here, this could potentially be a Sin Cara botch of epic proportions. I think
it's make it or break it.
How do you recover if you're Ryback and you can't lift Mark Henry?
Turn heel mid-match and hit him with a chair.
You don't do it. You go backstage and you deal with the heat.
Yeah, honestly, what Hurricane just said here. What if if he can't lift him? What if they have kind of a thing like, all right, Ryback, if you can't do it, you still need to win the match, or however they book it. One of you has to go get a chair and just end it. That way we can prolong this. And Ryback, we can get you lifting some more weights, bro. I don't know. That's what I think. All right, Colin, anything you want to shout out, any Twitter, YouTube, or anything?
Guess we're going to find out tomorrow.
All right, sir. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll let you know. Let's see here. Fandango and Chris Jericho's in the match. Now, before we started, Dan said he had a lot of stuff he wanted to talk about this match. As this match is almost over, did Chris Jericho just hit a code breaker?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Chris Jericho just hit a code breaker on Fandango. He just won. I know you said you had a lot of stuff you wanted to talk about Fandango, and I don't know if we've covered some of it. Predictions for this one, guys, before we go into it?
Jericho puts Fandango over.
Does he have to win, though? Does Fandango have to win to put him over?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't know who's going to win this one, because he can go over whether he wins or loses.
That's true. That is true.
I agree. I think Jericho might win, or if Fandango wins, he wins dirty. But regardless, I think this is going to be a match where I think Fandango shuts everyone up and wrestles the shit out of Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho is probably like really stoked for this match because this is someone that Jericho can do a match with. When Jericho puts together a match, he can make it look awesome. You know, I mean, like if you look at his old stuff back in the day, and you look at some of the stuff he's been doing in the last like 2 years, every fifth match he'll do is like really good, and usually it's because he's the one who's pretty much like controlling the match and being like, all right, so you know, clothesline duck, blah blah blah, and he's orchestrating the match. I think this is going to be a really good match regardless of who wins, and I think it's going to give Fandango a lot more respect. Hopefully, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and so one of the things that people keep saying, Johnny Curtis' gimmick, it's so bad, because it's this horrible gimmick. But think of what they did with Johnny Curtis. They took a guy that had, a regular run-of-the-mill WWE character. He was this guy. I don't even remember what Johnny Curtis's gimmick was. And they turned him in. And, yeah, they were doing it because, the popularity of Dancing with the Stars. And I think that was all over the rumor sites is why they did it. But it's still this guy that at least he's not one of those guys that come out and, like, nobody, like, boos or cheers. Like, they're just like, oh, yeah, who the fuck is this guy? Like, they hate him. And that's one of the good things about WWE characters. You either hate them or you love them, or you don't know who they are. And in this case, they hate them. Mm-hmm. And that's the best thing about it. And, to Mr. Hurricane's point, I don't think Fandango has to win to get put over. I just think he has to go out there and prove he can wrestle. If he can do that with Jericho, and it's pretty hard not to be able to, he'll go over and he'll have quite a career in the WWE. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, he could lose and then go after Jericho at the end of the match, too, to get even more heat.
He could. I think. I don't know if Fandango's got any submissions. They could eventually set up a submission match at Extreme Rules. Like nobody knows, how long Jericho's going to stay around. Like that's one of the biggest things. Do you guys think that if Chris Jericho didn't want to work with him, that he could have got out of it? Because a lot of people are saying Chris, got screwed here by being forced to work with Fandango. But I mean, if you're Chris Jericho, you've been in the WWE 10 plus years. You've got to have the power to say what you want to or don't want to do.
I think so.
So
Absolutely.
He has to see something in Fandango that's like, this kid's got it. And at least that's what I think. I think there has to be that. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing here on screen, I'm just rebuffing it so the matches are a little harder, the main event matches at least. Let's take a call. We're up to 383 people. Not bad for the show. If you guys could do us a huge favor, hit that like button and go subscribe. YouTube.com/Dan Dobie and YouTube.com/Mr. Hurricane. Let's go ahead and answer a call here. What is up? Who is this?
He says it every time.
What's up?
How you doing, Tubby?
Pretty good, man. What match you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Rock versus Cena.
Okay, let's talk about anything but Rock versus Cena. Let's save that one.
Okay, we can do, what is it? Punk versus Undertaker.
Awesome. Let's go for it. What do you want to talk about it?
All right, well, first of all, do you see Punk having any chance of being able to beat him?
What do you guys think? Does he have any chance to beat him?
It kind of makes sense. But I've seen Undertaker win too many times to bet against him, I think.
Undertaker is being paid $10 million a year for wrestling one match a year. He's not gonna lose. I think it's probably one of those things where he's like, hey, if you want me back, I'm gonna continue to win. You're gonna spend thousands of dollars on my entrance every single time I come out with the pyro, and that's it. He's an old man right now, and I think that he's gonna win. I don't think this is gonna be the best match in the world. There could be a few surprises and big hits and stuff, but Undertaker can't do his walk on the ropes thing anymore, and
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My opinion on this is I think Undertaker, he still got it. Like, well, last year he proved to me that he can still wrestle. Like as far as I would have to say be athletic and active and stuff, but I don't see Punk having any type of chance of beating Undertaker, and I think this might be his last WrestleMania.
See, here's the problem that I have with it. That I'm all for Undertaker still being around, and I think it's really unfair of us to sit here and be like, Taker can't go. Like, he still puts on great matches, even though he is older. My problem is if he wins and this is his last WrestleMania, 21-0, like that doesn't seem like really 21-0. Whoop-de-doo, you went 21, 25-0, 20-0. That would have been a milestone. I think if he wins this, it's going to be like, wow, you won one more match. My personal thing that I think WWE, I don't know if they'd ever do this. Punk has really been pushing getting a win by DQ. And I think it's kind of a stupid way to go. But what if he gets DQ'd and then they work it out somehow? So WrestleMania 30, if Undertaker wins, that loss gets erased from his. I don't know. I think that's stupid. But I don't think Punk's got a shot here. Unless Undertaker signs off on it, and this could be his last year. If it's his last year, I think Punk deserves to get that victory. If it is,
Well, like, you really think they're going to, but I don't think they would just go 20 matches in a row and then just for it to, like, end just all of a sudden by Punk and then Undertaker goes out, unless they were really trying to put Punk over, which he's already really over with the crowd already because he's getting all the heat.
Either way, you have to look at it this way. A win doesn't put, like, Punk back in the title hunt. You know, I mean, like, there really is nothing that good can come of this match, because you can either have Punk take out a legend like The Undertaker, or you have Undertaker, the legend, take out CM Punk, who really has no aspirations to anything else in the WWE. I think. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh no! Well, I was going to say, you know what? They just put out the Undertaker DVD 20-0, and if I think they could have waited until his last match to kind of put this DVD out if they wanted to keep him undefeated. But I think since this is out, if we look at that and say, all right, 20-0, they already released the DVD. They're not going to release another DVD called 21-0 or 22-0 unless it's like his very last match. So I think this is almost this is kind of throwing a wrench in the whole situation. I think that CM Punk, now that I think about it, he could win, and Undertaker maybe could take the loss, because they just put this DVD out, and you think in a couple more months they're gonna update the DVD and call it 21-0. So
unless they turned it into kind of like a big like Punk's documentary, like it would have to have a build, I guess, kind of like the John Cena experience, how they built up to WrestleMania. But they don't have enough footage. Like, what are you gonna do? Turn all the Paul Heyman, the Paul Bearer segments into a DVD? I think Dan brings up an absolutely good point. Like, what the marketability of 21-0 isn't there. I mean, you can't throw one more match on a DVD and buy it. Although, to be honest, WWE fans would still buy it. Like, they buy most DVDs.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
Oh, and I just also put this in perspective. Think about it. There will be DQs and countouts, so Punk could still win dirty, and Undertaker could still go out as a legend if this would be his last WrestleMania. Well, he's always gonna be a legend, but I mean, like it won't take anything away from Undertaker if Punk wins by, if he wins, like, by DQ or something like that, like, something out of hand or whatever.
Even if Undertaker loses, this is gonna, like, take him out of the Hall of Fame. It's not gonna get rid of his legacy. I mean, the dude's been in wrestling so long that, one loss isn't gonna, bring him down. But like Dan said, marketability of 21-0, unless we know for a fact, like, Taker's gonna go to 25-0. As a fan, I don't want him to end on 21-0. I would rather have him end at 20-1, and, like, have that loss maybe be a controversial loss. Like they're pimping out this DQ thing. So for the rest of the time, people say, what if Taker could have gone, and what if CM Punk didn't get DQ'd? I don't know if that would drive people crazy, but I don't see him winning 21-0 and then just being done. Undertaker either wins this year and goes on to 25-0, or CM Punk lets him take it. Because after CM Punk, who's really going to face Taker?
Cena.
Right. No, there's nobody left besides, like, a John Cena, which I really don't see happening.
All right. Your final prediction. How do you think the match is going to end, sir? Who's going to win? How's it going to end?
I think it will end by Undertaker. I think it's going to win by Undertaker winning and going out as a legend.
Undertaker winning and going out as a legend. All right, so do you have a YouTube or Twitter or anything you want to pimp out?
Yes, my Twitter, you can follow me at Controversy with 2 underscores, and my YouTube channel, Chicago Made One. Thank you, Tubby. Keep doing what you do, and I like your videos.
Have a good day, man. All right, we have 350 people still watching, as we're about half hour into this so far. Taker will hit him with a driver and keep the streak going, and Punk will...
And then he'll grab his urn.
Do you think Undertaker will use the urn in some way to get the victory?
I don't think...
Not to get the victory.
Yeah, but he will walk away with it. I agree with you there.
He's going to walk away with the urn. If Punk does get a victory by DQ, I would see something like, Undertaker then beating the crap out of CM Punk and hitting him with a tombstone or something, and, like, retrieving the urn, or if he does lose, something that allows him to go out on top. Because I don't see him getting taken out on a stretcher like he did the last year. I don't see him, walking out with, Triple H and HBK. He can't do that.
Yeah. How long do you think they make this match?
This will probably be a 20, 25-minute match.
What was Taker's last year with Triple H?
I think 27 minutes.
Really?
Off the top of my head. And the entrances take so long with these guys because Taker coming down the ramp takes forever.
Especially when you have Triple H and Taker. There's half hour right there.
Let's see. Last year's match went 30 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm guessing that's with entrances, though. And the entrances alone, I think, were like 10 minutes. But last year's match was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. As CM Punk on screen gets a victory, and Undertaker is bloodied and bruised and battered. But besides Taker, and do you think anybody gets involved here? Do you think the Shield gets involved? Do you think Paul Heyman helps? Any outside interference you guys see at all?
I at least see an attempt for it, just because Punk's a heel, and it would just make sense, I think.
Or like Paul Heyman grabs the urn and starts doing stuff to it, or
just like distractions.
He's already poured it out. He's already rubbed it in him. I don't know. Anything you see?
Maybe it's
Dan?
just distractions, and CM Punk gets a little bit of offense that way. But then maybe Taker ends up getting out of the ring and choke slams Heyman, then goes back in the ring, goes after Punk. You could do it so many ways, and especially if you want to involve the Shield.
Yeah, I don't see it being a clean match. I don't see these guys going at it one-on-one. I think one of the things that if Undertaker does win, if we see a sign of respect, maybe CM Punk turns back to being a good guy. Who knows? WWE could go that route. Where, Taker beats him and shakes his hand. He gets that respect.
I don't know. That could work, but they kind of did that last year. I think they're going to keep CM Punk a heel for a little bit longer.
Who's he going to face, though? Is he going to go back to John Cena? I mean,
that'd be pretty stale.
What do you do? I mean, they're in kind of a weird thing where as far as top guys go, especially in the WWE Championship side, you have Cena and Rock now. Depending on what happens in that match, are we getting, if Cena wins, do we get Punk versus, Cena again, or do we get Punk versus Rock again? That wouldn't really make any. I mean, I think you'd have to do something to give a little leeway, in my opinion. I just think that. On Twitter, guys, if you want to, the stream is gone. The stream is still up for me if you guys refresh it. The Skype name, if you want to call in, 619-618-0268. I'm missing tons of calls here. What is up? Who is this? All right, buddy. Thanks for your call. Make sure to mute it and have good audio. What is up? Who is this?
Hi.
All right. Thanks for your call.
See you later.
What is up? Who is this?
Yes, this is Akshay.
All right, sir. What match do you want to talk about?
CM Punk and The Undertaker.
Go for it. What about it?
Yes, I think it's going to be like a 10-minute match.
No.
Really?
What? I don't think so, sir. I don't see that happening. Why do you think it's going to be a 10-minute match?
Because CM Punk is all in his head, Undertaker's head, and with the whole urn thing, I don't think it's going to last any longer than that. Because he's just mentally challenged. Undertaker's mentally challenged right now. So I don't see him going any longer than that.
All right. So do you think Undertaker's going to win by DQ, or what do you think is going to happen then?
What I think is that Paul Heyman is going to distract The Undertaker with the urn and all. And then, so The Undertaker's going to go outside, and then CM Punk starts doing some stuff, like showing off and all. So he goes back in with the urn in his hands, and then CM Punk makes him really mad, and so he attacks him with the urn and gets disqualified.
Okay. All right. You have YouTube or Twitter or anything you want to shout out?
That's going to be it. Thanks.
All right. Thanks.
This is my prediction of how the match is going to end. I think that either if Paul Heyman comes out with CM Punk, then there's going to be some kind of distraction there. You're going to see maybe the ref got knocked out for a second, and then CM Punk is going to he's going to connect with the urn, and you're going to think it's over. He's going to hit the Undertaker with the urn, and you're going to think it's over. He's going to kick out at the last possible second. He's going to do his classic rise up, and then he's just going to, either tombstone or chokeslam Punk, and that'll be the match. That's how I'm thinking it's going to go. I would love to see CM Punk win, but that's probably how this is going to play out.
There's so many different ways things can go down. If you just think about it, like honestly, like last year, look what happened where you had all these, tombstones. You had the sledgehammer shots, the chair shots. You even had Undertaker get hit with
Sweet
chin music into a pedigree. I don't think you're gonna beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. I don't think anybody. If Triple H and HBK couldn't do it, what makes people think CM Punk's gonna do it? I guess. So I see the only way of him winning is by DQ. I don't think CM Punk can straight up beat Taker. I don't. There's nothing that says he should be unless that title reign is what kind of gives him that momentum. I just don't see. If you looked at the match Taker and HBK put on, and the match that Triple H and Taker put on, I know CM Punk physically could do that kind of match, and they will do that kind of match. But how many go to sleeps is it going to take? I mean, there's nothing that says. I don't know. That's just me. I don't see him beating him. I think if CM Punk wins, it's going to be by DQ. I don't think in a straight-up match he could beat him. But that's just me. Let me pull up the actual WrestleMania card here and go down really quick for people that are just joining us. And kind of give.
Do you want to discuss the tag match that's happening with the?
we will. Yeah, let's go for that one. Any prediction, Dan? You want to start?
Well, no, I'm not talking about the Dolph Ziggler one. I'm talking about the Brodus Clay.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom when we talked.
Do we even want to give it? Do we even give it like a crap about this or what?
I'm pretty sure we already talked about it, but we were all in the bathroom, and unfortunately, everybody missed it. Honestly, though, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of interested in this match a little bit, and I know most people are like laughing and like, why, Tubby, why? But I kind of like Cameron and Naomi. And I think they've got talent. The Bellas, when they came back, I don't know if you watched the last Raw, they look so bad. They, the moves, the holds they were using, they just seem so out of character. And I know it's one of those big, let's throw everybody in the match to get them on TV type thing. But they looked horrible. But that match was also like the longest match of the night, and it was a Divas match, which is kind of sad. That's all I want to say about it. I think Cameron and Naomi are pretty swell. Anything you want to say, Hurricane?
I'll be stocking up on food during it.
Let's break.
All right, that's when we have to go turn on the oven. All right,
no celebrity match this year.
I don't know. That's
It's pretty awesome.
Pee Wee Herman said he's going to be at WrestleMania. Maybe he gets in the ring.
Hope he's not fapping in the stands.
Oh, jeez. My God. Now, this is a PG show, sir. All right, the match that's on the screen at least. Daniel Bryan and Kane taking on Big E and Dolph. Once again, there's a lot of different things that can happen because if there's a cash-in, the thing I brought up in my prediction was I would have Team Hell No win. I would have Big E then turn on Dolph and plan him out. That way it kind of starts a face turn for Dolph. But then in the same way, I would have Del Rio Swagger beat Del Rio and have Dolph come in and save the day and be that face guy.
This could be one of the most interesting matches of the night just because no matter who wins, like if Team Hell No wins, then you have your idea there with Big E and Dolph, or if they win the tag championships, then we have the split between Team Hell No. And I wanted to see like what's going to change at WrestleMania. Face turns, heel turns, splits, new tag teams, anything. Because WWE doesn't like to sprinkle that stuff in all that often, it seems. Like things generally stay the same. How long has Team Hell No been together? Since the summer?
Yeah.
Quite a long time. The tag team division was looking super promising last year. They started when Team Hell No won. They had Primo Epico, the Usos. All these tag teams were kind of building steam. Sin Cara, Rey Mysterio were taking off. You had what was the other tag team that I'm just now forgetting on the top of my head? Oh, it was Team Road Scholars, duh. And the injuries of Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio that killed their tag team title run. So they stayed with Team Hell No. Road Scholars broke up, and I'm kind of shocked that WWE broke him up only to reunite him 2 weeks later. Like these were supposed to go back to singles competitors, and I don't think that if I'm a booker, I don't think you break Hell No up right now because I don't think you have a strong enough tag division to save it. I guess I think where WWE could do something if they don't break up Big E and Dolph. Dolph is the show off. He needs something to show off. Right now he's got the briefcase. Give him 2 titles. Have him go out, defend a tag title match, and then at Extreme Rules, have him then go out and defend the World Heavyweight title and have him win both matches. Like, as a fan, don't you think that gets somebody way over? Like, I don't know. I see that happening.
It definitely would.
I'd love to see that happen.
What if Big E and Dolph win? They win the match, and then Big E turns on him anyway. Like what I kind of planned. So then now how does Big E and Dolph defend the titles when they're against each other? Like, just think about like that. Like, there's so many different things that could happen that WWE would never do. I think that's what makes it so interesting, because I think that would be awesome if Big E planted him. Some people have been saying, Big E is just using Dolph to get in the main event, and that makes perfect sense. I think AJ turns on Dolph, and Dolph makes a face turn. That's the only big face turn I see happening, other than Randy potentially going heel tonight.
Oh, I was about to ask if you thought that was possible.
We'll get down. Predictions for this match? What do you absolutely think is going to happen in this one?
I don't know about this match, but in general, Dolph Ziggler's walking away from WrestleMania with either a tag title or the other title. That he takes some swagger, which you kind of predicted, which is a great prediction. So either or, whether it's both belts or one of them, he's walking away with one of the belts this for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think Team Hell No wins personally, because you made a really good point about how weak the tag division is, and at least with Team Hell No, you have a team that's over.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and take one here. What is up? Who is this? All right, thanks for your call, bud. What is up? Who is this?
Hey, this is Frank. I want to talk about, let's see, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Hell No match.
All right, go for it. What about the match you want to talk about?
Well, like you said, that there is going to be a lot of speculation of this match. But I really don't see Big E being a big push after this match, even if he wins the tag team titles.
Oh no, I'm on a completely different fence, because he came up in NXT, like Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. They were all in there. Tyler Black, Seth Rollins was in NXT for quite a while, and Big E was kind of in there for a while. But Big E's gimmick, if nobody knows Big E or nobody's paid attention in NXT, they pushed him with the gimmick of the 5 count.
Will help him get noticed, but I'm not saying it's going to give him a major push from where he is now.
I think it gives him a big push if he turns on Dolph, because then he's featured. I think that's the only way you keep Big E kind of relevant, because this is kind of his debut in wrestling. But the one thing about Big E, and I'm glad they didn't bring him up right away in WWE to do this, his gimmick in NXT was a 5 count. He would hit somebody with a finisher, he'd pick him up again, hit him with a finisher, and then the ref would count to 3, and he's like, count more. Okay, 4, 5. And that was his gimmick. It was a 5 count. And I don't know if we saw that before. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think Big E's got a lot of potential. I mean, at least the WWE is doing something right. You have Big E, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns.
He does seem to have a lot of potential, but the question is, how can they bring that officially up is the question.
Screw Dolph Ziggler over. That's the way I see it happening.
Yep.
What about this, Tubby? Oh, go ahead, caller.
Also, you have to also think, you did say that the tag team division compared to last year is nothing, because you had the Usos, Team Rhodes Scholars, Tyson Kidd, and
yeah, it was starting to come around, and then the injuries started creeping
and now
in.
when you look at it now, it's just
If you look at it now, you can't. There's to break up Team Hell No wouldn't be a smart thing.
You could think of, if you think about it, you could have Chris Jericho team with someone, or you could have uprising superstars. Even Santino, when he was with, what was his name? Kozlov, I think that's what his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Was at least they were a decent tag team.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what'll happen, and that'll all happen, once WrestleMania is over. Who do you think is winning the tag team match? Who's walking away with the titles, caller?
Who do I think? Well, actually, I don't really have an opinion, because I actually think that both teams are pretty even. Because you also have to think about AJ being involved too. So everyone seems to forget about AJ.
I like AJ. On screen, Daniel Bryan and Kane just won. It'll be interesting to see what happens Sunday. You have a YouTuber Twitter you want to shout out by chance?
No, I do not, actually.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your call. We appreciate it. I want to bring this up on screen because I haven't been paying attention to it. Daniel Bryan Kane did get the victory here. If one of them wins, as I'm sure people want my predictions. I gave my prediction already. How do you see it going down, Hurricane? What do you want to happen?
I kind of like the idea of Dolph Ziggler turning face with Big E screwing him and Team Hell No winning the tag titles. And the one thing I wanted to butt in and say was that Dolph turning face and winning the World Heavyweight Championship would kind of open up the ability for him to have a feud with Punk. And then there'd actually be something we'd want to watch with the World Heavyweight belt.
Oh, Punk could go for the Punk really has nothing
There's too
else
much
to
spotlight
do.
with the other stars on the WWE Championship right now. This is a way to make both belts important.
It's a good point.
Absolutely. That's something that let's get your thoughts on that right now. Go to Twitter, twitter.com/W, #WMLive. Let's hear it, guys. What do you think about Dolph winning and then Dolph versus Punk for the title? Because, it's an internet fan's dream when, Punk versus Dolph happens, or Daniel Bryan versus Ziggler happens, or Brodus Clay and Tamina win. Not Tamina. Apparently Damian Sandow just went over and hit a girl. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. That's even the game doesn't like this match. It just ended right away via DQ. Like, seriously, when you watch that on screen, like, seriously, when even the game is like, meh, we don't really care. That's one thing. Go to Twitter. Tell us what you think. We are on a delay. I forgot about that, so they're not going to be coming in right away. Brock Lesnar versus Triple H is up next. Dan, did you have anything? How did you want to see that one go down?
I'd love to. I mean, it could go several different ways, but I would like to see Triple H win. I just don't think this is going to be the most interesting match ever. I just don't think these two are the best evenly matched people to be fighting. I like when Brock Lesnar fights someone a little bit kind of smaller, say like a Ziggler or something. I think with Triple H, the same thing that's going to happen at SummerSlam. It's going to be like a pushing match. They're probably going to do a chair shot here and there.
WrestleMania 20 all over again.
What was that?
Remember the Brock Lesnar Goldberg match?
Well, I don't think the guys are as big as that. Like, when you think, two big guys at Mania, I don't necessarily consider Triple H as a star, yes, but as like a big guy who's slow moving, I guess I don't see Triple H being that slow moving guy. Like, if you looked at his training video, like last year at Mania, he looked kind of out of shape, and so did Taker. This year, Triple H is looking good. I don't think it'll be a super, fast-paced match, but the fact that it's no holds bar, they could go anywhere, at least that does something for the match, I guess. Because pretty much, other than that, it's all singles matches at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'd like to see Triple H win, but it would make sense for him to lose and it be his career match because he's just going to go in the back and kind of like hopefully reshape this WWE right now and hopefully kind of make it more like an Attitude Era. But I think I would like to see Triple H win, but I think he's going to lose and he's just going to go behind the scenes and just kind of like hopefully rebuild everything and make WWE what it used to be.
He did sign a 4-year contract last year as an on-screen talent. So that's something that nobody's really remembering when they release the quarterly information about that. The other thing is, one, I don't think you can have Brock Lesnar lose either because they're paying him, $5 million a year now to have him on TV. You already had Cena beat him. Then you had him go out and beat Triple H. And I know it's a career versus career match. Not a career versus career, but a career match. If you have Brock Lesnar lose, why are you paying him $5 million? Like, unless ticket sales go up that much, why bring Brock back to have him lose? So I think that kind of puts a thing in people's minds where, if it was just Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, they'd be like, oh, it's a redemption. It's Triple H getting his revenge, and Triple H is going to win. But why keep paying Brock, money? But if Brock wins, then what does Brock want to do? It's one of those matches where you said it doesn't really matter, and I don't really care for it because it's got no outcome. If one of these guys wins, it doesn't mean they're going to go on to bigger and better things because they're already guys that are older, and I don't know. I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I agree. I really don't know. I think they could go either way, and I don't know what really would be different at all because no matter what, with a Cena and Rock match, you have the possibility for a rematch at Extreme Rules, so there's nothing in the near future that would really be affected.
Absolutely. And I just, I think Shawn Michaels is coming out. Paul Heyman's going to probably be doing double duty. You'll probably see some interference. The only thing that I would be super excited about is if the Shield came out and they formed a stable with an actual stable, not just showing up with Paul Heyman in a promo and having Brock Lesnar leave run the Shield. Because I love the Shield, but I think they should be more than 3 guys, to be honest with you. I think the Shield should be 5 guys. What I want to see happen is I want to see Brock Lesnar lose, but then I want to see the Shield come out and just destroy Triple H. That's what I want to see happen. I want to see.
Yeah, what the hell are they gonna do with Brock anyway? That's the one.
What does he go? What does
ideas.
Brock go to next, Dan? If Brock wins or he loses, regardless, he's under contract for a year. What do you see next for him? Who do you see him going up against? Or
you know what? I haven't gotten to that point yet. I don't know. I mean, could he feud with CM Punk? No, I mean, well, the thing is, if CM Punk goes face, then I could see that happening. But I think Brock Lesnar is going to stay heel the rest of his career. I don't see him going face. I don't think Brock Lesnar has ever been face. Has he?
Yeah, he was. When Cena was first starting out and he was a heel, Lesnar was a face at that time.
He's always just kind of been like an ass kicker, and ass kickers necessarily weren't.
You could have said he was only like a tweener, like a Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, he's just this badass. Like he says, what was it in the interview? It's like, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, or is that Devon Dudley? I'm just an ass kicker. That's all I am. The only thing I don't like about this match is the build up with Triple H being like, it's not going to be a wrestling match. It's not going to be I'm going to kick your ass. Like, we've heard that so many times now.
It's going to be a fight, Brock.
Yeah, I just come on. Like, we know they're going to put on a show and they're going to beat the hell out of each other. This match will probably do 20 minutes, I want to say. Most likely.
Think both guys bleed or just one guy?
I think they'll have both guys bleed.
Oh, yeah.
They better.
This is going to be interesting. Triple H fighting for the first time without his hair. Seriously, there's some kind of magic that's a little bit lost with him without the hair now. He just seems like a badass biker now. And you gotta think, what is he gonna? Is he gonna come out in like his fucking biker outfit with his leather jacket, or is he gonna come in with the freaking the briefs that he wears? It's just gonna make him look completely different. Every time on Monday, whenever I gather with some of my buddies and we watch Raw, we're like, that's gonna be. It's like something's wrong with Triple H. Like without his hair, it's just so. He just kind of looks not the same.
I agree, but at the same time, I like that he's finally kind of got a new look. What I would like to see happen, in all honesty, like my favorite days of Triple H were the DX era, because I went back and watched the movie on Netflix, and I highly suggest you guys go watch it, the 3-part, the new DX, when him and Shawn Michaels dressed up like Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon. That just blew my mind. So I want to see at WrestleMania, I want to see Brock come out, and I want to see Triple H come out with the KSIH, I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to see him come out in full MMA gear mocking Brock Lesnar. Like, I just think that would be like, your career's on the line and you're making a joke. Like, to me, that would just be hilarious. You have this new, I don't know, I always prefer the lighter side of Triple H beside the ass kicker phase of Triple H.
I do too.
That's just me. Dan's got a dog thing going on. Hurricane. Either way, does it really matter? Because last year at Extreme Rules, when Brock Lesnar went against John Cena, the original plan was, John Cena was going to win, but Brock Lesnar was going to beat the shit out of him, so Cena had to go out on a stretcher, and that didn't happen, and that pissed Brock off. So if Brock loses, is he still going to look like a beast?
I think Brock Lesnar's at that point where it doesn't matter what happens to him. He's still Brock Lesnar.
I really think that Brock Lesnar really doesn't care what happens to him as long as he's just cashing the checks and that's it. I mean, you see that, every time a wrestler comes out with like their pyro or whatever their entrance, they pay for that. That comes out of their contract. And every time Brock does this thing where he he comes out, you're like, there should be fireworks. There should be something blowing up here. And I think for him, he's just like, you know what? Just write the check. Just let's get this over with.
He's going to come out with his generic entrance and Triple H is going to put like $250,000 into his.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's going to be a whole light show.
Yeah.
I think that, as far as this match, we're all talking about it. It'll be one of those matches where I think they'll put on a show. I mean, I think there'll be with blood and stuff. As Brock Lesnar looks like, he kind of looks like the Joker with his blood on his mouth. I think you'll watch it and your friends will go like, oh, like when you see it hit. But other than that, it'll be kind of like, eh. I don't see this match going to like a lot of like 2 pinfalls. Like when it was Triple H and Undertaker, there was a lot of, late 2 counts. I don't see that happening here. I see this match being all around the ring, and ultimately, it doesn't really matter either way. I mean, is it time to let Triple H give up the thing and go backstage? I think even if he wins, though, people are saying, well, dude, he only wrestles once or twice a year, so what does it matter? Why does Triple H have to win this one? I think Triple H is just going to win just for the fact that he went after his wife. That Brock went after Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing. I would like to see Paul Heyman get involved. I would like to see Triple H win, and then the Shield come out and destroy Triple H. That's my prediction.
The thing is, I think I'd like to see that too, but I think the Shield is already put over, and I think like people know who they are right now, so they don't really need that. They don't need that extra push of continuing to hang, to be either on CM Punk or with Paul. I mean, I think they're kind of on their own right now, and I think that they're okay with being like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just want to see as the Shield. I mean, the Nexus was this huge group because there were 7 people, and they kind of whittled down. And the Shield has done a great job only being 3 guys, but I want to see him have more people, to be honest with you. I've always wanted to see him have more people. That's pretty much our predictions. If you guys want to give us a call, besides this match, 619-618.
What is your guys? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, what is your WrestleMania prediction for who ends up going through the Spanish announce table?
Oh, geez, we'll get to that. What is up? Who is this? All right, make sure to mute the live stream when you call in, guys. What is up? Who is this? All right, thanks for your call. What is up? Who is this? All right, guys, come on. We're answering calls and nobody's talking. What's up? Who is this?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
All right, man. What match you want to talk about?
Taker Punk.
Taker Punk. All right. Which one of them is going through the Spanish announce table?
Excuse me?
What? Go ahead. What about CM Punk Undertaker you want to talk about?
I mean, how it's just been built up with all the Ashes thing with Punk and Undertaker and stuff.
You think it's a bad thing? Are you one of the guys that think it went over the top, or did you like it?
No, it was pretty fucking cool.
I think it was too. I think, it's pretty easy for all of us to say like, oh, Paul Bearer would have loved it. I mean, but when guys that actually worked with Paul Bearer for 20 years say Paul would have loved that, I have more faith in them than the guys from the internet. And if you're a manager, you're a guy that's been in the business 30 plus years, and you were always wanted to be part of story. You always were a part of storylines. I loved every second of it. Part of me kind of cringed a little bit when he dumped out the ashes, and nobody said what's in the urn because they never actually said it was Paul Bearer's like ashes or anything. I think it did push the limits, but in a way that it was still done in a way Paul Bearer would have liked. Honestly, like what better way? You pass on, and a lot of times you just pass away, and they show you a tribute video, and that's it. Here, one last WrestleMania, Paul Bearer gets to be a part of, in spirit at least.
I think it's great, and they're really. I think they're honoring him for sure, and I think that like a lot of people are like, "Oh man, that's so messed up that they're doing that." But they're, come on, they're giving him kind of a second life, and this is exactly what he probably would have wanted to have happened, and his family signed off on it, even though on the Tuesday after this past Raw, you hear that I think when the son of Paul Bearer said like oh WWE we signed off on it, but we didn't know it was going to be like that.
And then once they ran that story, WWE, I don't know if they covered their ass or what. They went to the guy, and then his son, I can't think of his son's name, said, the rumor sites are already posting on it that I said it was totally different. It was fine. It's not the way we saw it go down, but we didn't have a problem with it. And then so they made him, WWE released that text message to Wrestling Inc. and said, here, post this and prove to us that that's the case. Mm-hmm. So I think, they did it in good taste, and that just answers your question, the Hurricane. Triple H put Brock through a table. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good way in that match. It's kind of weird jumping back to a match that we're not even talking about anymore, but I think the urn will be, celebrated. Will Kane come out too and have a celebration? Do you think they'll do anything like that, where they come out and regardless of what happens in Undertaker versus CM Punk, do you think Kane comes out and they have a Paul Bearer tribute, or do you think the tribute will be aired before the match?
I don't even know if there's going to be a tribute. I think they already took care of that. I don't know if Kane's going to come back. However, if Kane and Daniel Bryan break up, I could see that happening.
What about a hologram of Paul Bearer?
They spend that Tupac money, Coachella money. Yeah, that. Oh my God, could you imagine like on the stage, like, oh, that could be how badass would that be? Honest to God, they're going at it. Punk's about to win, and all of a sudden, ooh, and they shine the light on the stage. It's a Paul Bearer hologram. He turns around, gets Tombstone pile drive. That's over. Like, oh my God, and you can see that going viral because, the Tupac hologram went massively viral. As Triple H just hit a pedigree there, I think that would be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet. But
see, I was thinking before the match. You're thinking during and part of the finish.
I'm thinking
That's
during
weird.
the match, part of the finish. I think that would be Triple H wins. Triple H beat Brock Lesnar on the screen. Hurricane, do you want to ask your question again? Who's getting put through the Spanish announce table, Dan?
Who's going through the Spanish announce table tomorrow?
I think Undertaker's going to put CM Punk through it.
Oh, jeez. Are they going to have 3 tables tomorrow? Is it WrestleMania they usually have more than 1 table?
Isn't it usually 2 at every pay-per-view?
Well, yeah, but I thought one of them, I thought they go to 3 at WrestleMania. I don't know what I was thinking of.
Let me check. I'll check that.
Or no, I think last year was the box because they had Michael Cole had the box out at WrestleMania 27. That might have been what I was thinking of. I just remember it being a little bigger. I think we've kind of reached the pinnacle here. Let's run down the matches quick. The ones we've already talked about if you're just joining us. Wade Barrett versus Miz predictions.
Wade Barrett.
Yeah,
Hurricane?
Wade Barrett.
If this is where it gets crazy because I think if Undertaker beats CM Punk and then CM Punk does go for the world title, then there's no point to have Wade drop the belt and go up to the world title because there's nobody to challenge for that world title besides Swagger right now. I'm going to say Miz retain. I mean, not Miz. I'm going to say Wade Barrett retains. Next up, we had Del Rio versus Swagger. Predictions?
I'm gonna go Swagger wins, and then we see what you pretty much said earlier with Ziggler stealing it.
Awesome. Hurricane?
Oh, that would be a big dominoes falling. Yeah, I think I might go with Del Rio taking this one. I just don't know if they're going to do that thing with Ziggler. I want them to really bad, though.
So then you see Ziggler versus Del Rio then, right?
I could, yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Ryback versus Mark Henry.
Ryback.
How does
Ryback's
he
gonna win, and he's gonna put him up, and he's gonna do it, no question.
He's going to put him up.
No
What
question.
happens if he doesn't?
question.
Like, honestly, like, is that part of the mystique to the match? Are people really questioning it that much that when they think about the match, like, nobody's thinking, like, who's the better big guy? They're just thinking, oh, I wonder if Ryback can actually lift him. Like, is that what people are thinking when it comes to this match?
Yep, I think so.
Oh, my gosh. I'm just going to go out on a leap here and say that, Mark Henry does put Ryback over, but I think something will happen where he can't, and he'll win by, there'll be a DQ, so they go to face each other at Extreme Rules in, like, a no-holds-barred type match. I see something like that happening.
Okay.
Because WrestleMania, lately WWE's done a lot of things where they've kind of pushed it. They've kept going on storylines. They haven't ended like they should. Like if you look at last year with Punk versus Chris Jericho. Jericho versus Fandango.
I think Jericho wins, but puts Fandango over the process.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's him.
The biggest match of the night, the main event, Tons of Funk and the Funkadactyls versus Rhodes Scholars and the Bellas.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say.
Oh, look, we've already talked about it.
Robert's playing Tensai win.
Okay. I do want to say this quick about Tensai, how when he came back all serious, and I hated that gimmick, but seeing him as kind of this fun, go-lucky, one of the things that sold me on his new character when somebody's like, dude, what does that stuff on your face even mean? He's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that spot, but something was like, thank you, Tensai. Like, I just want to see him eventually just be like, yo, I'm Sweet Tea or Albert. Like, just because people used to chant Albert at him. I like his new gimmick where he's Sweet Tea and he's having fun, but that's just me. The match is on the screen right now. I don't think we've talked about this one, and we will very shortly. Hell No versus Big E and Dolph.
I like Hell No to retain.
Hell No to retain. Okay, Dan.
I'm gonna say the opposite, and then I'm gonna go to the opposite and say that Hell No loses and then break up there.
Okay. Brock versus Triple H.
I'll never bet against Triple H, so I'm gonna say Triple H.
Well,
I think Triple H finds a way to win as well.
So wait a minute. You said you never bet against. Were you betting on him beating Taker last year then?
Yeah.
How much money did you lose on that one?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I know last year. No, I did not. No.
Okay. I just the way you sound like, oh geez, well you lost a bet twice in a row then. Let's see what is the other match we still have to talk about.
The Shield 6-man tag.
The one that's on screen right now. Yeah, let's break it down. Team, I guess what is this? Team 2 WWE All Stars. They're getting another crack at him technically. Who is the team at Royal Rumble now? I already forgot about it. Or Elimination Chamber. It was Ryback, Cena, and who?
Sheamus?
Was it Sheamus? I guess this is where I don't even care about it.
Yep.
What happens here? I mean, the Shield are already over. All the good guys are over. I think the big question here that everybody's talking about: will Randy Orton go heel?
What about Big Show going heel?
He already was heel, and he's kind of gone face. I think Big Show goes back to being a face, and Randy goes heel. But the thing that people aren't realizing, what's going to make Randy go heel? Like, is Randy going to be the leader of the Shield? Like, how do you turn Randy heel? What happens?
As far as the Shield having other characters, I could see Randy Orton kind of joining the Shield and maybe them kind of just having some kind of like bigger alliance there. I think that'd be actually really cool if they did that.
That's what I've been waiting to see. I love the Shield. You know, I love all three members of the Shield. You know, Roman, I wasn't a big fan of at first, and he grew on me. But the whole, the numbers game creeps up on him. When you're 3-on-2, that's not much of a numbers game. I think you have to add a guy or two. If you have 4 or 5 guys, you're already over. Add a couple members, and I say you do that with Randy Orton. I mean, he's a 2-strike guy, so even if, he did get a 3rd strike, you still have the Shield. You're not really breaking up anything. You guys want to call in? What do you think about Randy going heel? A lot of people were saying about this.
Could you see him going heel like Sheamus tags him out of the match intentionally, and Randy doesn't like it and just RKO's him?
And he just gets pissed?
Yeah.
Or Big Show.
I mean, Shield was already talking about how this isn't a team. So that would make sense.
Well, yeah.
That's a good point, yeah.
But they were looking good before. Like, they've had synergy, but, I mean, it's kind of hard to look bad when you're going up against 3MB, to be honest with you. That's what everybody's like, oh, they looked good out there tonight. They went out and they all hit their finishers and they looked great. Yeah, but they did it against 3MB.
I think put Cesaro against 3MB on the pre-show.
Hey, you know what? Everything aside, I love Heath Slater.
Oh yeah, no, I like Heath Slater.
He's one of my favorite jobbers.
Yeah, I'm a little upset that they put him with 2 other dudes. What Heath Slater reminds me of right now is very early Triple H, when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley and he came out and was really just really douchey. I back Heath Slater for sure, and I hope that this pays off of him being kind of a jobber for a little bit. I think he should definitely be pushed. And I'm sorry about my dog, but yeah.
No, it happens. I agree with that because I remember when Nexus was going on and then the core went on. I always said, and I was one of these guys. You can go back and listen to those videos in 2011, 2010. Where I said, Heath Slater, he should go back to his gimmick in NXT or, FCW at the time. He should be the one-man band. I don't really see him as this guy that's, partnered up with people. And then they finally let him go out and be the one-man band. And then they put him in this stupid gimmick. One thing that we want to bring up here is WWE has officially signed a multi-year contract with a Honky Tonk Man. He officially is signed on to deal. Honky Tonk tweeted it out. I would like to see... Heath is a pretty good speaker. 3MB, though, are kind of a bunch of losers. I say you pair him up with a Honky Tonk Man and as a manager to try to get him over more, because now they're just kind of a joke. But if you pair him up with a legend like the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, the Honky Tonk Man, after they just faced off against him, I could see success for Heath Slater.
And he gets a new finisher.
I don't like his finisher. Heath's new finisher? You want Heath to have a new finisher, or...
Yeah, I don't know what Heath is because he never gets to use it because he loses every match. But whatever it used to be, I don't like it.
Oh, that was a good example, sir. All right, 619. Oh God, we're missing so many calls. What is up? Who is this?
This is a caller.
Hey, guess what?
Anyway.
You're not a caller anymore. That was a heel move. Hashtag W1 heel. What is up? What is up? Who is this?
Hello?
Hello? What's up?
Who is this?
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. What can I get you?
Who is this again?
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Is this for carry out or delivery?
Oh, sorry, wrong number.
Oh my god.
You're so over right now.
Oh my god. Really? Did he just hang up? I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to be a dick there. Oh god.
What? I finally made it on the show. No.
Sorry, I'm sorry about that, sir. If you want to call back in, go ahead. Make sure to mute the stream if you guys call in, though. Just please make sure you mute it. What is up? Who is this?
Yeah, how you doing?
Oh, geez, we got 2 callers on. All right, one at a time. Whoever's in the 786 area code, just hold on. We'll talk to you in a second. 740. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about.
Can you call back in when your mic quality is a little better, sir? It's kind of hard to understand you. Just give me a call back when you sound better. All right, 786. What's up? What do you want to talk about?
Hey, how you doing, Tubby?
Pretty good. All right, what match you want to talk about?
Let's see. Let's talk about. I really want to talk about Randy going heel.
All right, Randy going heel. We haven't really talked about it too much. We brought it up once, but what about it? How do you see him going heel, though? How does it go down?
I see Shield beating Big Show, Sheamus,
okay,
and Orton.
Yep.
And then I don't know, something between Big Show and Orton goes on, and then Randy RKO's him, and he just walks away like fuck this, I'm out. And then I don't know, something happens next Monday night or Friday night.
All right,
Who would you have him feud with?
Yeah, who do you want to see a heel Orton feud with?
Randy, I'm not really sure. Big Show, I think they already feuded last year or something.
Yep, they feuded.
Um,
If he turns
I'm
heel,
not really sure.
do you want to see him join the Shield? A lot of people said they want to see him join the Shield. Would you have?
That would be pretty damn cool.
That'd be pretty damn cool.
Just have and him being like the backup or like the leader or something. That would be pretty damn badass.
Awesome. All right, you have a YouTuber Twitter you want to shout out?
Oh no, man, thank you. Love your videos. Keep on going, man.
Thanks, bro. I do want to, because he kind of brought this up here. Do you guys remember when Orton was filming a movie? And he kind of was growing out his hair for it. Do you guys remember that?
I think so.
Last year he was growing out his hair. I think it was for the Marine, and then he eventually got pulled for it. I'm not sure. But if you remember his hair, it reminded us of Legend Killer Randy Orton, like back in the day. And he had it for like 3 weeks, and every time I saw it, I was like, my God, I like Randy like this. He looks like a monster. And then he went out and shaved it off to the old Randy, kind of the bald, shaved head. And if they were to turn him heel, I would want him to come out with long hair, and like you'd be like, oh shit, he's going heel. He's dressed like a Legend Killer. Like I want to see him like after he goes heel at Mania. I want to see him come out to his old theme song, full on heel, like everything about him back to being the Legend Killer. I don't know. That's just me. I guess I can dream. I miss the Legend Killer Randy. Randy's kind of gotten boring. But like Dan said, he's got 2 strikes. So what can you really do with Randy? If you push him, heel, that's going to be a big boost to him. But what happens if he goes out and gets in trouble?
You could get in trouble being a face too.
Well, that's true.
I just think they're complete at a loss with him, and they're probably had that discussion with him, like, hey, we're gonna keep you around, we'll keep you on salary and keep you on Raws and third round pay-per-views and stuff. But like, what can we do with you if you mess up? If you have one more strike, then you are officially out, and that's just the company policy. So, I don't know what they're gonna do. I wish
TNA's waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm gonna the match on the screen right now. I'm gonna skip ahead and we'll talk about the last match, and we'll kind of wrap up here very shortly. If you want to talk about Rock versus Cena now's your time to do it. They're gonna be flooded with calls right now. Rock versus John Cena. Quick predictions between us before we take calls.
I think Cena's gonna win. He's gonna go heel.
God. What do you just want Cena to go heel, or do you actually think the WWE would get rid of their moneymaker?
I think this is going to be this is a last second. I mean, he sells the most merch right now for sure. But the thing is, they don't know what to do with him. They're hearing that every night he comes out, the boos are now kind of almost outweighing. They're not evenly matched with like the cheers. They're almost outdoing the. I mean, he's getting more boos than anything. And I love how every single week he comes out and he says, "Oh, so Minneapolis is it sounds like we're in a tiebreaker here," blah, blah, blah. And he'll say something about the city or the state or the football team to win everyone back. And it's such a cheap move to keep him face. But I think it's probably going to become, Vince is probably making a last minute decision. Listen, the people want to hate you, and especially putting you up against Rock, you have to be kind of the heel in this situation. I think they're kind of subtly making him a little bit unstable with the whole, like, I have to win, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he got so many boring chants when he was doing his
last promo.
It was a terrible promo he was doing. I think he's gonna go heel, whether like maybe someone comes in and interrupts, or if he wins dirty, maybe he doesn't even know. The whole thing. Maybe ref gets knocked out, or he gets knocked out. Someone comes in, hits him with a chair, and then he thinks that he wins clean and kind of it becomes a heel. I think it's time for him to go heel for sure.
All right. Here. Let's talk about this. Cena going heel, Hurricane. Do you want to see him go heel?
Absolutely, but I don't know if WWE will do it. I think the short-term benefits of Cena and all this merchandise, and they think so short-term and they're so short-sighted. I would love to see him go heel, but I don't know if they'll do it.
Here's the thing that made me laugh was on the documentary for Cena when it came to Rock versus Cena, and they're like, it was in the documentary when they showed him. He's like, the guy they booed out of the fucking building sold the most merchandise that night. Like they're booing me out of the building, and yet they keep buying my merch. Like, that's so fucked up, And I think there are a lot of Cena fans that, boo him at the show, but then they actually like him. Like, when I was watching that crowd and a lot of the boring chants, if you look back, some of the people that are booing him are wearing his shirt. Like, and I think that people are all just kind of catching on and trying to boo him to make Vince go, you know what? Fine, we're going to turn him heel. I think if he does go heel, he can still do Make-A-Wish. I think that's one of the biggest things people are thinking about now, where, if he's heel, he can't do Make-A-Wish. Really?
I read that Punk still does it.
Punk still does. Who were the two guys that were at a dinner last night for Make-A-Wish? You could still have Cena do all his stuff. You could, because the guys kind of turn face and just, go with the crowd. I don't see that being the reason why they don't turn him. I think the reason they wouldn't turn him is who's the good guys he goes up against, I guess. But at the same time, who are the bad guys he goes up against?
Who's the good guy to carry the company?
And the honest thing is, Punk was champion for over a year, and Punk's a wrestler. He's a better wrestler than John Cena, even though when they're together, they put on good matches. But CM Punk, the ratings were bad. Last year, the ratings were bad when Punk was champion. And that's just a sad fact. As much as people want CM Punk to be the new John Cena, there is no new John Cena right now. It is John Cena. And I think more people will turn in, like Dan said. I think if he goes heel, maybe not even heel, but at Mania, if he wins dirty, maybe he doesn't know he wins dirty or something like that, and he gets the victory, I think that could go a long way. Yeah,
I also think that, like, even if he wins, he's gonna win dirty. He's not gonna win clean. And if he does, he's gonna go on a Raw, tomorrow, on Monday, and say, like, you guys don't understand. I had to win, regardless if I had to win clean or dirty. I had to win for me, blah, blah, blah. I think Rock is just in here, just to boost ratings for a little bit and headline WrestleMania. I think he's gone after tonight. I could see maybe
he is listed for Extreme Rules, though. Because he does have a rematch, so technically he will be there for Extreme Rules.
Okay.
So that's where you brought up, and this is where I talked about this too, where you have everybody saying we want John Cena to go heel. What better way to get the best ratings of the year for a Raw than to have Cena win dirty, but then the next night, exactly what you just said. I'm not a bad guy. I just had to win. I couldn't live with another year of loss. That way, that Raw, my God, the ratings on a John Cena, the Twitter, everything about him going heel, but then he comes out and's like, dude, I'm not heel. I couldn't lose.
Yep.
I see that happening. I think that's the closest we'll ever get to John Cena being a heel. And that's the exact way I would have it go down. I would have Cena. They teased Laurinaitis, and here's one of the things that people are saying: people power. Laurinaitis came out for Rock. What if Laurinaitis comes out and helps Cena? And Cena goes with John Laurinaitis. I mean, I don't think he has any power anymore. I know he's still with the company, but I think we'll get Cena winning dirty somehow. And exactly what Dan said, he'll come out and people will be like cheering him, and then he'll be like, "Guys, I'm not healed. I just couldn't lose." And people then start booing him again. I think that's the closest we'll ever get. We'll never get a full heel John Cena unless it's like his last run in WWE.
Yeah.
All right, let's take this call. Everybody's wanting to talk about it. What is up? Who is this? All right, thank you for calling in. All right, there's a lot of people calling in, so when you call in, we'll just ask your opinion, who you think is going to win, and then we're going to go with that. What is up? Who is this? All right, make sure to mute your stream, guys. What is up? Who is this?
Oh, Andre.
All right, buddy. All right, main event: Rock versus Cena. Who do you think is going to win?
John Cena.
John Cena. How is John Cena going to win, sir? Is he gonna win clean, or is he gonna do something to win?
I think he's gonna turn heel.
You think he's gonna turn heel? Is he gonna get any help when he turns heel? Is anybody gonna come out, or is he just gonna, hit him with a weapon?
I don't know if he's gonna turn heel, but I think that a lot of legends are gonna come out to see this match, just to spectate it.
Legends?
Yeah, like Hall of Famers, not like you know how they have that question and answer thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think some of those guys are gonna come out just to see the match.
That could be kind of interesting. You have a YouTuber Twitter you want to shout out at all?
No.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your call. I don't know if I would have legends come out, but what is up? Who is this?
It's Brad.
All right, Brad. Main event. Who do you think is going to win, John Cena or Rock?
Well, by how it's going to go, I think John Cena might win.
You think John Cena might win? All right. Why is John Cena going to win, in your opinion?
Because, The Rock won last year, right? And, Vince, I watched WWE since I was little. It's like in the Attitude Era days, well, somewhat Attitude Era days. And I kind of, in the new era, I know how it's, I can kind of predict the matches.
Was that in preschool, by the way, or?
Huh?
How old were you during the Attitude Era?
I was about 2.
So you were still a young fan. All right, that's perfectly fine. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so back in the day. All right, what about it?
So, yeah, in the new era, I can start predicting the matches.
Oh, you okay?
Which is, yeah, and so I think that John Cena is going to win because if you think about it, The Rock has done the redemption storyline. It's predictable.
I like
Who's
it.
going to win.
I like
Yeah.
it, to be honest with you. I like
yeah,
it.
it kind of ties in with John Cena's divorce and all of that.
All right. If you had to pick, does John Cena said he's going to keep the title? Anything going to happen? What's going to happen on Monday Night Raw?
I think, like you said, he might go heel. I don't think that's going to happen, like you were saying.
All right. You don't think he's going to go heel? Cena's going to win. All right.
But I wish he did it. All right.
All right. Any Twitter, YouTube you want to shout out?
No, I'm good.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your call. Anything you guys want to add? I was trying to go heel and make a comment about that, but I kind of pushed out. As John Cena wins by pinfall on screen, Cena is victorious. Dan, you didn't realize that, but at Extreme Rules, he's scheduled to be there. So, do you think I see Cena winning dirty and using a weapon, and then that sets up an Extreme Rules match between them where Cena gets the victory?
I can see that happening. All I know is that I think Cena's gonna win. I mean, it's gonna be a dark day. I do not. Cena's one of my least favorite characters of all time. I don't like him, but I do think he's gonna win this one. He's gonna win it dirty, regardless, and then he's gonna come on Raw the next day and just say I had to win. I think that's verbatim how it's gonna go down.
Absolutely. And one of the things I think that everybody's saying everybody's mad because they said once in a lifetime, and then this year they redid it. I actually am more excited for it this year just with the whole redemption thing. There's just something about that promo they aired with redemption, it affected my personal life. I had to win. I kind of got invested, where I kind of believed him. Here's my thing. I think it was on JR's blog that said, if he beats him, What if they go the route of the Attitude Era, where Rock beats him again, WrestleMania 30, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, third time he hits 3 Attitude Adjustments to finally beat The Rock, just like Rock did to Stone Cold. Do you think they would go 3 matches? That's something people are saying.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's something that people are bringing up. All right, let's say 2
What
more
else
calls.
is Rock gonna do?
Well, exactly. If he beats Cena and he's still scheduled at Extreme Rules, then is he going to wrestle the next pay-per-view because then he's got a rematch? Like, what happens? What is up? Who is this? All right, thank you very much. Go to Twitter, guys, quick. We're going to kind of wrap this up here very shortly. If you want to shout out anything like that, twitter.com/Tubby, twitter.com/Dan Doby, twitter.com/Mr. Hurricane. Go there right now. Tweet at us, and I'll start reading off some of your tweets. We'll take 2 more calls if we can get them in. Just make sure to mute the stream, please, guys.
You think anybody returns?
What is up? Who is this? That's an option, too. In kind of like a lumberjack match where Christian comes out, everybody comes out. What is up? Who is this?
This is Frank.
All right, man. What about Mania, the main event of WrestleMania? One, are you excited for it?
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
All right, you're
I'm really
excited for it. Who do you want to win this match, sir?
Rock.
You want Rock to win. All right, Rock has
Yeah,
got to
of course.
leave eventually to go back to Hollywood. So if he beats Cena, who does he lose to at Extreme Rules? Because he's got to drop the title, or does he take that title to Hollywood?
I think he drops the title because if you think about it, like, it won't really seem right if WWE doesn't have the title. But if you really think about it, Cena has to win this match. Like, he hasn't held the title in over a couple of years, so the WWE is going to set it up on which he has to win the title.
All right. I see. So wait, you say he's going to lose and then go to Extreme Rules and then win? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think he's going to lose, but then he's going to go back to Hollywood.
So you don't even think he's going to go over a rematch?
Yeah.
He's just going to give up. All right. You have YouTube or Twitter you want to shout out?
Yeah, shout out to Ender McKay.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your call. All right. Let's see. Dan, anything else you want to bring in? Hurricane, anything else you guys want to bring up?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of at that point where I want to see it go down. I'm not excited for this year's WrestleMania as much as I was last year. Last year, I actually ran a red light in anticipation for it. Like, I was just so pumped up, like, just waiting for WrestleMania to come. And then this year, it's like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's happening, I guess.
I think they're totally in a rebuilding phase right now, and I think this is the start of it. I mean, they have to get their ducks in a row right now, and I think they're going to be on their way to doing that. I mean, they're recruiting a lot, really good talent right now in NXT. They have one of my favorite wrestlers, El Generico, in there, which hopefully he'll be, and Pac from PWG.
All right, you're a PWG guy. I saw once I saw you were tweeting out pictures at PWG. I don't know if you know this guy Smalls and Aubrey Sitterson, who does WWE games. They go to all the PWG events.
So do I.
You go there too. You might have to meet up with them. What do you think? Like, everybody's furious about El Generico. WWE creates characters now that they can own the copyright to. They can sell the merchandise, and everybody's saying it is fucking stupid to bring in El Generico and then make him with his old name, Sammy Rabbit, his actual name. Take away the El Generico character. I don't know if you saw the picture of him unmasked and everything.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't like it. I think they should keep him as El Generico and come to some kind of agreement with him. I mean, technically, he's an amazing wrestler. He knows how to get the crowd going for sure. What I could see them doing, and I was talking to my Raw buddies a couple nights ago. We think, and one of them brought up a good point, saying that what they're probably going to do if they want to fuck things up is they're going to put El Generico with like Sheamus or something and have them be like the white dudes or something, like the really pale white dudes or something. They should keep him in the mask. I love the gimmick that he does, and especially in PWG, he gets the biggest pops of the night, and it's disappointing. Long story short, it's disappointing that they're going to take off the mask and kill the character.
What at the same time though, from a business point though, can you understand? Like, as an El Generico fan, you're pissed. But if you were running WWE, do you want to help this guy build up his own character and then have him leave Like, because he could leave at any time. He could just, like, break his contract and then, like, oh, he was in WWE, he's now famous, and now he could be, like, this big thing. You know, or he has a WWE character that he can only use in WWE. I think it's a business smart thing, but as far as wrestling in the IWC, it's not a good thing. Like, WWE is kind of in a bad situation. Like, what do you do? I mean, do you keep helping his gimmick, or do you build up something that you own everything to? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. It's but the thing is, from a business perspective, they got him because he's an amazing wrestler and he's got like a character and he's got a gimmick. Keep that going, ride that wave, and maybe they don't want people looking into his past and like giving PWG or any of the other federations like a big kind of like pop, because like people are going to immediately, if he came in as El Generico, people are going to start Googling right away and see, oh crap, look at him, he was in all these other leagues. Oh, look at this awesome finisher that he does on the freaking top rope in the turnbuckle where he pretty much brainbusters someone.
Do you think he'll get rid of that? Do you think in WWE is that a banned move?
Let him do that. There's like 50 moves that are probably like just crossing out when with his contract. But guess what? You're not going to do this, and this. Guarantee that's how that pretty much happens.
That finisher is just crazy. Once I saw him do that and Petey Williams Canadian Destroyer for me are like two of my favorite because like so much stuff can go wrong. And I don't know if it was you posted or somebody else from PWG that amazing finisher where the dude like lifts him up, throws him up, and then like he lands on his knee.
That was me. That's
oh my god,
I made a Vine of that because it was so good. I had to watch like 100 times, and now I think that's what my Vine account was just going to become, just like really awesome wrestling moves, just played on loop.
You guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Dan's Twitter. I'll put this up on screen here, and I'll put Hurricanes up here very shortly. This is awesome move. PW was that at a recent PW event? Was it from last week?
No, this is about maybe 2 months ago. This is the one that I forgot what it was called. I think it was Failure to Communicate was the actual event. That's what it was actually, and. Yeah, that's like my favorite finishing move of all time. I don't even know what he calls it, but it's just he pretty much throws him up for a suplex, but lets go. So the guy goes like 8 feet up in the air, and then when he comes down, he pretty much gives him like a code breaker to the back by just.
Does that hurt his knees? Like Punk used to do the Pepsi plunge, and that would kill his knees. I wonder like.
I just don't understand how the guys in PWG just aren't destroyed from like every other move that they do. Just is just like, are you out of your mind? How did you do that?
Oh, that's great. All right, last thing. What's going to be the match of the night, guys? What's going to be the hands-down best match of the night? Last year for me, I mean, I liked Undertaker versus Triple H, but I have to say last year's Rock versus Cena, it had us out of our seats. Because like the 2 counts, I'm going to go this year. I want to be the match of the year. I want it to be Rock versus Cena. I don't think it will be. I think Chris Jericho Fandango steals the show.
You just took the words out of my mouth. It's the same thing. I hopefully they do. I mean, technically speaking, as far as moves and stuff, that will be the best match. I don't think. I mean, if you look at the other things like CM Punk versus Undertaker, it's gonna be a really slow match. Same thing with Triple H and Lesnar. It's gonna be a pushing match. The Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston versus Kane and Daniel Bryan match is just gonna be, it's gonna be a decent tag match. Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan will probably have a lot of good switch offs. I'd love to see Big E Langston give his finishing move to Kane again, which was really impressive. I love when he did that this last Raw. I think Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio, that could be a decently technical match. I mean, I don't want to take too much away from Jack Swagger. I think that as a wrestler, he is good. But just if you don't have mic skills and your gimmick is bad, that just will take you down, a few points with me. Yeah, and I think the John Cena then Rock match could be pretty good as well.
Awesome. I want to say this really quick. Jeffrey Hable, please give me a shout out. There you go, sir. Hurricane, match of the night, sir.
I agree that Fandango and Chris Jericho match could definitely steal the show. I think when I look at the card, I think the best match, I think it may actually end up being Cena and The Rock, especially if they introduce something that's not just Cena being Cena and just winning straight up.
Do you think
the
match
will be a really
more
awesome match?
Do you think it'll be more of the match of the night because of all the close falls where everybody gets up on their feet like they think it's over and then they keep kicking out? Is that what makes the match good, or is it kind of a surprise, something happening you're not expecting? Like, is it?
It could be a combination. You're going to have a lot of near falls. You're going to have a lot of big, not necessarily big spots, but there's going to be a lot of big moves. There's going to be a kick out of a rock bottom, a kick out of an attitude adjustment.
Yep.
But it's going to be, how the match progresses and if anything extra adds like interference or a dirty tactic by Cena.
Awesome. All right.
What if The Rock goes heel?
he wins and he just takes the title back. What if Cena wins? Because Cena said he wants to wear the Rock's title proud. What if the next night he just like burns it in the ring and whips out the old spinner? So like literally every fan's like, oh Jesus Christ, not this goddamn belt again. Like that's the way he turns heel. He brings back the old belt.
And the 3 guys that bought the replica WWE New Championship belts are gonna be all pissed off.
The belt means nothing anymore. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Or he turns Rock's title into a spinner somehow. Like the side plate, the side plate split. My God, that'd be crazy. All right, guys, I want to thank Mr. Hurricane very much for joining us, and also Dan Dobie. If you guys haven't seen this documentary, go check it out. And I'm going to play a quick trailer here for those of you guys who missed it, because we played it with about 200 people in here. YouTube.com/please subscribe. There's 10 minutes of this up. You guys can watch it, get a feel of it. If you want to buy it, it's only $7.99 on Chill. I bought the $12 version because I want the poster. Is the poster pretty sick there, Dan?
Dude, it's really cool. It's dope. Yeah, I love it.
It's a really cool poster. And then
as soon as we're done with this, I'm running out to actually get a frame for it because I just got mine a little bit ago. You would think I would have had mine since like a month or 2 ago. No, I just got mine. By the way, it's coming. I know they just shipped earlier this week, so it'll be there soon.
And then you also, I think if you do the $20, you also get the Internet Troll shirt from District Lines, correct? I'm a fat dude, so it's not going to fit me anyway, but there's this cool shirt. All the details, guys, chill.com/please subscribe. Here's the trailer. Check it out. Thank you very much to Dan Dobie and Mr. Hurricane. And here it is.
Usually I just say I'm a YouTuber. People, oh, you like watching YouTube videos? And I'm like, no, I'm like one of those guys that makes them.
The way that we're now watching our news and our entertainment, it's the most important change that's ever happened to media in my lifetime.
People ask me, like, when did things begin to change? And it all happened at once.
Get more views, get more people clicking your ads, you're gonna make more money. It's as simple as that.
I think it's kind of a loner thing, but that's why I like it.
And I was about to sell my computer because I had no clue how I was going to pay the next rent.
I think they still probably assume it's just like a fun hobby that I do, and I'm actually a mechanic or something.
It becomes more about the game of YouTubing than, the art of making something really creative and cool.
It's nice that before we go, you put a lot of your own money in. It was Kickstarted. What was it like to hang out with these guys? Like, I'm sure you've worked with a lot of these guys, or worked with a lot of big YouTubers. What was it like to see these guys in their own, their environment? Like that's got to be a cool thing. Like just
yeah, I mean it was really cool, but at the same time, they're all legitimate. I'm really good friends with all of these guys for the most part. So it's really, I know a lot of people put these guys up on pedestals and stuff, but they're just all sweet people. They're just they started out as a good amount of them I met through YouTube, but after a while I just kind of started hanging out with them. A lot of them are local in LA, and so it wasn't like a huge thing. It wasn't like a total fangirl thing.
Like most people,
a lot of them I don't really even watch on a regular basis, tell you the truth. But like Mitchell Davis, I definitely watch. Dan Brown and Wheezy Waiter, I watch them all the time. I don't really watch Grace ever. That's not just my cup of tea, but she is a close friend of mine and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't as surreal or weird as I guess you would think or the average person thinks. They're normal people, and I think that's what the documentary shows, that they're just legitimately, they're not like, I know a lot of people view them as like mega celebrities, but at the end of the day, they're just nice, cool, fun people.
If you had to pick, I don't know if they want to know, but if you had to pick one person, like what was your favorite part of that documentary to do? Who was the favorite person to follow around, at least for you? Like who is the one guy? If they could watch an interview, who would it be? Who is the most eye-opening to you?
I think, not necessarily eye-opening, but I think Wheezy Waiter is the most interesting and entertaining. I think between him and Dan Brown, they could have their own kind of spin-offs and just like a full, feature-length films themselves. I think Wheezy's just a super entertaining guy, really quick-witted, and I think Dan Brown, just his whole story, is super interesting as well.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much. Go check out his channel, youtube.com/Dan Dobie, youtube.com/please subscribe. The 10 minutes are up there. Anything else you guys want to say before we close this out?
Thanks for having me. This is great, and let's try to do this again sometime.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, Dan. Hurricane, anything else you want to say?
Oh, it was a good time. That's it.
All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. WrestleMania 29 is going to happen tomorrow. If you want to follow live updates, facebook.com and twitter.com/Tubby, we'll have them. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you guys later.
See ya.